The Missouri Valley Conference champions are with us. Drake Bulldogs, Bennett Stirtz, Mitch Mascari represent the student body. Head coach Ben McCollum is here, and we're going to ask him to make a statement on the game, and then we'll go to questions for all three of the Bulldogs on the dais. Ben, please.
Yeah, I mean, first off, congrats to Texas Tech. I thought they played a fantastic game. You know, you kind of have to pick your poison with them, just because, you know, the way we're built. And we executed our game plan. Unfortunately, their two bigs that, you know, dribbled down the whole game, you know, made it very difficult on us to be able to consistently get stops. But, you know, I'm proud of our kids. I'm proud of our season. Proud of their effort. I didn't think it was our best game. They had a lot to do with that because, you know, when you go to dribble downs or the post-ups, it does kind of suck the life out a little bit, and that's where we couldn't get them turned over. So I thought they had a good game plan as well, which I knew they would. You know, and I knew what they were going to go to, and it was just like, you know, kind of hope that we could stop them in the post. You start doubling them, then they start spraying threes. Now you got some issues. So for our team, you know, it was neat. It was just been fun. You know, I remember walking into the nap and looking around like, what in the world did I just do? Not in a bad way, but kind of in a bad way. You're away from your family for a lot of years or a lot of time, and you know, 3-4 months or whatever it was, 5 months. Move your family. But once the summer started and I got to be with these guys again, it made it all better. And you know, they kind of got me through some of those things. I'm going to wait for questions to talk about Mitch. Mitch told me I couldn't tear up, so I'm just going to move on because I will. So go ahead.
Questions? First one on the aisle. Thank you.
Will Baumgartner, Drake Broadcasting System. This one's for Mitch. Mitch, how did it feel to get to play one last season, and especially at the D1 level where not only were you guys division champions, but tournament champions as well, and delivering Drake their first advance to the round of 32 in 54 years?
It's been a fantastic year. I couldn't have asked for a better year. Kind of like Mac, when I first got here, I was like, oh man, we're going again. But the way that this whole team has bought into each other, and the way that we just fought for each other, only being together, you know, for 1 year, it's just been really special. You know, I wish it wasn't over, but you know, it's the way it goes sometimes. But I mean, this team is really special, not even just athletically and player-wise, but the whole coaching staff, the whole organization, the whole Drake fan club has just been great all year long.
Up front, right behind you.
David Campbell, KCOU. I just wanted to ask a question for you, Coach. There was a lot of physicality in this game. Texas Tech was being very physical. You mentioned their two bigs. Wanted to ask your thoughts on the tone and the physicality of the game and how you were able to kind of be more physical with Mizzou. And this game, Texas Tech, they really brought the physicality. So I just wanted to comment on that.
Yeah, I honestly thought this was a little less physical than the Mizzou game, to be honest. I think it was just a lot of bumping in the post is probably what the physicality was. You know, those two are obviously a load down there, and they're strong. And so it was more the bumping than anything else. I think when you kind of isolate those situations, there's not as much opportunity to add some physicality to the game. And they're a physical team. I think that's probably our strength. And so we weren't able to get them in situations where we could get two on the ball consistently and get our hands going and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as the physicality, I didn't think it was quite as much, but I understand why you would say that just from the post-ups and stuff like that.
Left-hand side.
Hey, Ben, Vahe Gregorian, Kansas City Star. I wonder if you might elaborate on what you meant when you said, what did I just do when you first arrived, and how much does it speak to how difficult it is to move?
Yeah, you know, I've been at a place for 15 years, and I love the place. And, you know, you move your family, and you just never know how it's going to turn out. You know, everybody says kids are resilient, and they are, but you don't totally know. And so for me, I knew I would be fine. Like, I'll be fine. I just worried about my family and my kids and stuff like that. And then, it's a lot of work to get it to this point. It's a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of phone conversations trying to get players, and then trying to get guys to buy into something that, just have a level of blind faith. And, it was hard. Hard to convince Mitch to come back. It's just like, Mitch, make a decision here. Glad he did. But no, it wasn't like a regret per se. It's more just anytime you make a change like that, it's always going to be tricky. It's always going to be difficult. It doesn't mean that the change is wrong, because it wasn't wrong. I'm happy I did it. I came out of my comfort zone. I have a great administration. The fans have been fantastic. City of Des Moines, awesome. All those things. And so, and then my son, they finished runner-up and in state 4A. My other son was on the team too, and then my daughter's loves it, and she's playing her little AAU. So it ended up working out okay.
Question on the right-hand side, then we'll go to the aisle here. Go.
Grant Salzman, Columbia, Missouri, and Bennett and Mitch, I saw you guys kind of embrace a little bit of a hug at the end of the game. What's your guys' relationship mean? And, coming from Northwest to here, what's that meant to play together?
Bennett first, then we'll go to Mitch.
No, that's my guy. And all these seniors, we were all close together. Coming from Northwest, it still hasn't hit me yet that we played our last game together. I'm sure it will, but, I love playing with him.
Yeah, Bennett's been special. We all know he's a great player, but just off the court, his humility and his, he's such a great teammate. You just want to keep playing with him forever. And it's been special for me to watch him. We've always had good players in our program, but, I was there for day one when Bennett got there. So it's been special to see him grow into the player he has.
For Ben, Blair Kirkhoff with the Kansas City Star. It's always unfair to ask somebody about season perspective 20 minutes after the season ends, but was this success envisioned when you took the job? Did you see 31 wins coming?
I didn't really think in terms of 31 wins, but I did think that success was coming. When you coach guys like Mitch and Dan and Isaiah, and Ferg obviously came back. He coached guys like that, you kind of know that success is coming. And I knew it because I have them. And obviously the rest of the guys too, but, those four seniors, Ferg stayed around and believed in us. And I've coached those other guys for 5-6 years, Mitch for 6 years. So, yeah, I expected it. When culture, like people talk about culture, how do you build culture? Like, there's no building it, there's getting the right people. Like, it's 100% the right people, and I've been blessed to be around the right people, and obviously Mitch and Bennett and those seniors and all the kids that chose to come here and fight for this program.
We have about 4 minutes to go in this session. We have 2 Zoom calls. We're going to take them back to back, please.
Dan Tortora, wake up call DT. Dan Tortora, wake up call DT.com. Coach, you just spoke about culture being.
Sean Dillon, Alpha Media. Coach, what emotions are you feeling right now about Mitch and Bennett and how special this team was to you this year?
I promised Mitch that I'd hold it together so that he didn't have to be embarrassed and have tears in his eyes. It's always cool to coach these kids and be around the people that you have, but sometimes I don't think they realize how much they do. As a coach, it's like, well, it's obvious what a coach does for a player. It's very obvious. We get them to play hard. We do this, that, or the other thing, and we get them to challenge themselves, come out of their comfort zone. But players sometimes don't realize what they do for the coach. And when he has the opportunity to see them every day, again, it's like you're just hanging out with your friends every day and you're coaching basketball with it. And I still believe in it at its purest form in regards to that. And so they did a lot for me, not just winning games. That's irrelevant, but it's more just the relationships and, just, hey, we're with you. We're in the foxhole with you. And they've always been that. They're just foxhole guys, man.
We're going to try Dan on the Zoom one more time and finish over here on the right-hand side.
Coach Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. You spoke about culture being about the people in the program. Just what you can say about the gentleman sitting next to you being ambassadors for the future of this program.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, I always say with Mitch, he's probably going to be the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. He's that intelligent, so if somebody's hiring him, there you go. And then obviously, Bennett, he's got a big career ahead of him. He's still just scratching the surface as to how good he can be. Again, it's just those two in particular and all the kids, but, they carry themselves with a great deal of pride. They treat people the right way. It's fascinating. You can always tell, like, how they treat people that can't do anything for them. How, like, their character is. And, they're the type that talk to anybody on the street and love on them just as much as somebody that can do a lot for them. And I think it says a lot about these kids.
Final question on the right. Thank you.
Eli Letterman, ESPN. Ben, another one that maybe doesn't feel fair to ask 20 minutes after the season ends, but your name has been in the rumor mill, and you've been patient and considerate in making your moves in the past, whether it's a move somewhere else or building toward next year with this team. How do you intend to tackle this next week and the time up ahead?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same way I do every year. I think that I keep my focus on what needs to be focused on. I'm probably a little bit different in that respect. And again, that's probably why I ended up with the job and where I should be that I have, because of I'm not going to jeopardize. I'm not going to jeopardize anything for that we have with the team. So I don't really have much to say about it necessarily outside of I put everything in these guys and stuff like that, and I've done it for 8 years, and so that's what I'll continue to do. But yeah, as far as the rumors, I've already taken 8 jobs already, so I'm sure it is what it is. But it floats around every year, and that's what it is. It comes with success. That's what happens with success, and it's just one of those things that's tough, but it is what it is.
Gentlemen, you've been great representatives of the Missouri Valley Conference all year. Best of luck in your futures.
Thank you.